Welcome to Movies in the Making, everyone! If you would like to hear about how films were done behind the scenes, please like down below and subscribe to this channel for more videos, including what films you think should be talked about by this channel. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the 2013 crime thriller film Prisoners, released by Warner Bros. And directed by Denis Villeneuve. Here, we shall dive deep into the story of the production of this film. This was a constantly changing film behind the scenes that eventually came together with helpful support. We will now be discussing how the crew and actors got their roles for making this film. Now, sit back and enjoy the show. You are all in for a disturbing ride. Aaron Guzikowski developed Prisoners from a short, unpublished horror story about a father who kidnaps a man he believes hurt his daughter and imprisons him in a well. A disturbing idea that grew into a full script over 2 years of rewrites in collaboration with Adam Kohlbrenner. Guzikowski never studied screenwriting formally. Instead, he learned through watching films obsessively, reading fiction, and experimenting. Influenced by thrillers like Jaws, Universal Pictures, 1975, The Shining, Warner Bros., 1980, and The Silence of the Lambs, Orion Pictures, 1991, his vision for Prisoners was to create a visceral thriller layered with moral and psychological complexity. The themes of faith, guilt, obsession, and survival emerged organically as he built the story around a father's desperate need to protect his family. As the script evolved, the detective character Loki became equally central, making it a two-hander. Guzikowski's process emphasized ambiguity, realism, and tension, reflecting a belief that great thrillers both entertain and unnerve. The title Prisoners reflects not just the physical captivity of characters but their emotional, psychological, and spiritual entrapments. Guzikowski's unpublished horror story was heavily influenced by themes of guilt and psychological torment found in Edgar Allan Poe's classic tale, The Telltale Heart, 1843. In Poe's story, the overwhelming weight of guilt drives the narrator to madness after committing a murder, and Guzikowski adapted this idea into a narrative where a child is tragically killed in a hit-and-run accident. The father, consumed by grief and desperation, takes justice into his own hands by imprisoning the man he believes responsible in the well of his own property. Although the story evolved significantly during the writing process and changed quite a bit before reaching its final form as the film, the central themes of guilt, moral ambiguity, and the psychological consequences of taking extreme measures to protect one's family remain deeply embedded in the film's core storyline. This foundation explains the film's intense emotional drama and its exploration of how far a person might go when pushed to the edge. Many crew members came and went during the long and rocky development of the film. Although Guzikowski's script received strong praise early on, the project faced multiple delays as several high-profile directors and actors, including Bryan Singer, Anton Fuqua, Kristen Bale, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Mark Wahlberg joined, then left the film. Wahlberg, however, played a crucial early role in championing the script, which helped generate industry buzz and open the door for the film to be made. The shifting creative team also led to changes in the story's structure, with the original script focusing solely on Keller Dover before expanding into a two-hander that gave equal weight to Detective Loki. Denis Villeneuve became the director after being deeply moved by Guzikowski's script, which he admired for its suspense and the complex moral struggles of its characters. Though initially hesitant due to the story's darkness and emotional toll such material takes, Villeneuve ultimately embraced the project as his Hollywood debut. He was encouraged by the creative freedom offered by producers at Alkin and Warner Bros., who supported rather than controlled his vision. Villeneuve insisted on staying true to Guzikowski's script, involving the writer throughout production and editing. Collaborating with legendary cinematographer Roger Deakins, Villeneuve crafted a visually stark, noir-inspired atmosphere that enhanced naturalism and precise lighting. This strong, collaborative team helped Villeneuve create a powerful and haunting film that gave him renewed faith in filmmaking. Hugh Jackman was already attached to the film as Keller Dover when casting directors Carrie Barton and Paul Schnee joined the project. The original script centered on two white families in a predominantly white neighborhood, but Barton and Schnee helped broaden the scope by casting Viola Davis and Terrence Howard as the parents of the second missing girl, creating a more realistic, diverse portrayal of a working-class community. This inclusive approach also influenced the casting of the children, including Kyla Drew Simmons, whose audition impressed the team with her ability to switch from emotionally intense scenes to her naturally cheerful demeanor. Jackman's presence helped anchor the film emotionally, as his character's moral descent drives much of the story's tension. Jake Gyllenhaal was cast as Detective Loki after Villeneuve had recently worked with him on Enemy, A24, 2013, and expressed a strong desire to collaborate again. Although Barton initially did not picture Gyllenhaal in the role of a gritty, small-town cop, A rewatch of End of Watch, Open Road Films, 2012, changed his perspective. Gyllenhaal's evolution as an actor over the years and his ability to play complex, isolated characters made him a fitting choice for the role of Loki, an outsider in the town and a man whose calm surface makes intense internal pressure. The casting choice added depth to the film's central conflict between a desperate father and a lone detective trying to maintain order. Patrice Vermette became the production designer through the ongoing collaboration with Villeneuve, having previously worked with him on Enemy. Vermette, known for his obsessive attention to detail and documentary-style realism, required emotionally grounded, believable environments. His approach was deeply rooted in visual research and careful planning. He brought a subdued and haunting realism to the film. Villeneuve wanted to avoid typical cinematic portrayals of suburban America, favoring modest, lived-in homes that reflected the characters' emotional states. This created logistical challenges for the crew, as some houses needed structural modifications to accommodate filming, but Vermette's thorough preparation and dedication helped overcome them. Roger Deakins became the cinematographer for a highly collaborative and thoughtful process with the director, marked by deep mutual respect and a shared vision. They spent extensive time in pre-production, drawing inspiration from photographs and long creative discussions to develop the film's visual language. Their goal was to achieve a naturalistic look during the day and a noir-influenced atmosphere at night, where light consistently battled darkness. They favored slow, single-camera movements and maintained flexibility during filming by being thoroughly prepared but not richly storyboarded. A key scene near a gas station in the rain, originally planned for a rest stop, was redesigned by Deakins to incorporate a light source, emphasizing the theme of light struggling against darkness. Every light in that scene was meticulously controlled by Deakins, whose precision, humility, and discipline deeply shaped the film and left a lasting impact on the director. Although the film is set in a bleak, fictional Pennsylvania town, the film was actually shot across various locations in Georgia. Much of the story takes place in and around Conyers, where key sites like Dover's and Birch's houses were located. Additional residential shots use streets such as Stanton Woods Drive and Greenview Avenue. The intense scenes involving Keller's in prison and the torture of Jones were filmed in an abandoned home in Atlanta, while Jones's house, the setting for the film's climactic confrontation, was in Lithonia. Depicted as part of the Conyers Police Department, was shot in Tucker, and the hospital sequence where Loki chases Keller was filmed at Atlanta Medical Center. Other notable locations across Georgia helped build the film's somber atmosphere. The opening scene featuring Loki alone at dinner was shot at a Chinese restaurant in Stone Mountain, symbolizing his isolation. A liquor store in Atlanta was used as a confrontation scene between Keller and Loki, and the gas station where Alex's RV is first discovered and where he crashes during his attempted escape was filmed near Troy Smith Road in Monroe. Deakins' cinematography and overcast, rain-soaked visuals made these Georgia locations convincingly stand in for the story's moody Pennsylvania setting, enhancing the film's tone of dread and emotional tension. Joel Cox and Gary Roach became the editors after a fortunate scheduling change freed them from Clint Eastwood's Fenstall to star in Bourne remake, Warner Bros. 2018, allowing Villeneuve to bring them onto his first Hollywood film. Known for their lasting standing collaboration and efficiency, the duo proved to be an ideal match for Villeneuve's emotional, performance-driven thriller. Their precise and intuitive style, like Joel's old-school, film-based approach, allowed them to shape the film thoughtfully without rushing. They favored long takes and deliberate pacing, aligning with Villeneuve's desire to avoid fast, flashy cuts in favor of emotional depth. Their editing helped maintain a delicate balance between the film's central characters and preserve key performances, even while trimming an initial 3.5-hour cut into 153 minutes. Cox and Roach's ability to listen to the characters, work closer with the camera, and build tension from within performances rather than from external action made them essential to realizing Villeneuve's vision, ultimately helping him feel, for the first time, that he had made the film he imagined in his head. Johan Johansson became the composer when Villeneuve sought a musical voice that could deepen the film's emotional and psychological weight without relying on genre cliches. Though Johansson worked on a few English-language projects before, Prisoners marked his breakout collaboration with Villeneuve, who was drawn to the composer's unique ability to invite introspection rather than dictate emotion. Johansson crafted a haunting, tension-filled score led by icy strings and a computer-processed cello, evoking a somber, almost spiritual dread that completed the film's slow-burning suspense. This understated yet powerful style helped redefine how music could function in thrillers and laid the foundation for Johansson's continued collaborations with Villeneuve on Sicario, Lionsgate 2015, and Arrival, Paramount Pictures 2016, each radically distinct yet equally innovative. The film nearly received an NC-17 rating due to its intense and disturbing content, particularly scenes involving torture and implied child abuse. The The film includes graphic moments where Dover violently interrogates and imprisons a mentally unstable suspect played by Paul Dano. These sequences, coupled with unsettling allusions to pedophilia, which were reportedly toned down to secure an R rating, pushed the limits of what the Motion Picture Association of America deemed acceptable. Villeneuve's unflinching portrayal of moral ambiguity, emotional collapse, and extremes of the human desperation create a heavy, oppressive atmosphere that blurred the lines between psychological thriller and horror. The film's dark tone, emotionally charged performances, and refusal to offer easy answers contributed to its initial classification concerns, eventually leading to some adjustments to avoid more restrictive NC-17 rating. As of the 2nd of August 2025, Prisoners has an 81% critic scoring on Rotten Tomatoes, a 70 out of 100 critic score on Metacritic, an 8.2 rating on IMDb, and a 4.3 rating on Letterboxd. The film's budget was $46 million and it grossed about $122 million following its digital release date of 20th September 2013. And that wraps up our deep dive into the making of Prisoners. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all things movies in the making. Let us know in the comments what you think of Prisoners, or if you have any favorite moments for films we did not touch upon, or what films you would like to hear covered by this channel. Also be sure to check out our community page, where we announce what films we talked about by this channel each week. New posts arrive every Friday. Thanks for watching, we'll see you all next time on Movies in the Making, where we'll be talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, 20th Century Studios 1975, and more films follow along the way. Tune in for more Movies in the Making with uncovered stories by cinema's most unforgettable films. This has been Jason Scotchmer, film enthusiast and passionate about the arts.